G'day guys, just thought I would start off, sorry I'm a bit late, 20 minutes late. I had to get back from statewide to home. So I thought I would do a very close up so you can see a live video of free motion quilting. So I thought that I would start here. I'm hoping the video decides to focus properly. There we go. Okay, so let me know when you're on and say g'day. I'm hoping this works for us, so I'm hoping the camera doesn't fall. Might even see if I can just move her over there. Try and get away from my hands because you don't want to be seeing my thumb in the way all the time. And down there. Come on. Go. So you'll be seeing my hand, but you'll get up nice and close in here. So yeah, so say hello if you're on, and let me know you're here, and I'll get started. Sorry, I'm just readjusting this little fella. There we go. Make sure it's nice and tight. Fingers crossed she doesn't fall. I've got it sort of attached to my machine. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to let you know I'm using a Metler thread, and it is a 50 weight, and it's a fluoro, this one. This has been a sample piece for a few workshops, so I thought I might as well use it and we'll do some free motion quilting, but I'm doing it in a nice fluoro colour because I want you to see what I'm doing. Again, I have adjusted my top tension on my machine to about 6.5, and I have adjusted my needle's position because I like it to be over to the left a little bit, and I have adjusted the foot on my machine so that it floats nicely. And what else have I done? Oh, I've dropped the feed dogs so that they move. They don't move my fabric around. But yeah, that's sort of about it at the moment. I'm hoping I can see some comments come up. Oh, there we go. Hi, Michelle. I can see them now. Hi, Melissa, Colleen, Dot, Rado, Waves. Yeah, hello. Hi, Lee. Hello, Margaret. Okay, so I've got that moving so that literally just sits above the fabric like a duck on water. Okay, I'm going to put my needle down. I've got a little knot there. I'll cut that off in a minute. And I'm just going to start stitching. I'll stop every now and then and just check on comments, so bear with me. Hi, Chris, Rhonda. How going, girls? All right. So I'm going to go and just do some sort of stitching. Hang on, I've got something under there. Hang on, I can see something else under there. It shouldn't be there. I thought it was a bit thick. I want you under there. I'll try again. There we go. Foot down. Down. Now I've just adjust my foot back down. I wondered why it was so thick. There we go. See, we all do silly things, not just me. We all do them. All right, so what's in my bobbin is just whatever was around. I haven't really worried about that. Being a sample piece, I'm not really worrying about it. You would generally, as a rule, whatever you use in the top, you'd use in the bobbin, unless of course it's a metallic. Okay, got my trusty gloves on. Got my gloves on, so that's what I'm wearing. And this is just a plain cotton, and this is a bleach work that I did And because you're up close, you'll see all the little bits of fluff. All right, so no real plans of what I'm going to do. So I'm just adjusting my speed. So let's just start, because we've got some paisleys in there, let's just start with some paisleys. And I thought this will help you to be able to see what I'm doing and how I'm moving. Now I've got one hand completely on the fabric, and the other hand, because I'm on the edge of the fabric, I've got just my forefinger, middle finger and thumb just holding on to it until I can get a good grip. So the other thing too is you're going to see all my little boo-boos because of the thread, and I'm okay with that. So we'll just do some funky looking paisleys here. Make it look like that paisley goes behind. That one's in there. That one go in there. Now, as you know, I don't really mind it if it's a bit thready. Hi Judy, how you going? Never bothers me, but if you don't like it thready or you don't like to see all that thread, you might want to use a thread that actually blends into your fabric. Black on black, you'll definitely need your glasses on, that's for sure. So here we go. We've done a couple. I might do a third one. And you can see I don't go a million miles an hour with my hands, and I get that nice smooth stitch. And even if I don't get that smooth stitch, I don't panic. I just keep going. And I use a stop-start button rather than a pedal. I like the ease of it because it's one less motor skill that I have to use. Okay, so, and you'll notice I do them all different. See, I've got extra ones in there. That one looks very similar but larger. And sometimes I just put different pictures or patterns in them. Just depends on what I'm feeling like on the day. Today I'm feeling a little bit bland, so it's going to have bland. Oops, bit of a jump. You can do some plain ones in between. They don't have to all have flowers. Echoing is brilliant. That echo is wonderful to get you from A to B when you're running out of space. When you want to take a corner with a paisley, you just give it a little bit of an arch as you go around, like that. And as you come out, go around a bit more. And on your third run, Daisy, go out to there. I'm going to travel around there and make it look like it's going behind. I'm going to give this a fourth one and make it look like it's going behind. Come down here again, goes behind that, it's going to come up here, I'm going to travel back around there. Okay, so I've done those, you can see them all there. Okay, any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm going to work down to this way. I'm just going to zoom out a little so you can see. I'm going to work down here. And I'm just going to run along the edge of the quilt because that'll end up getting cut off, just so I can come from a different angle. And now I might add in a different design. So this one is where I might do this. what this is called. I think it's a, no, I've lost the name of it. They do call it something. Someone will tell me, I'm sure. McTavishing, I think. So I'm just echoing if you can see. Sometimes the shape changes and that's okay. Just fill up those little areas. Is that a fluoro thread? Yeah, can't remember the name. Yep, it's a Metla. Hi Stella, how you going? So I'm just going to move the camera, bear with me, so you can see where I am, what I'm up to. There we go. Alright, so I need to put that foot down a little bit more, just because we're so close to the edge and it's fairly high. Yeah, it just wants to get caught up. There we go. A little bit of pink thread there that's going to annoy me. I'll take that out of there. The other one I like too, there's one that looks like a wormhole. I'll show you that in a sec. Very similar to this. Okay, so got my cuppa and a toasty all set. Good morning, Joan. I'm just going to trim that off. I'm going to come over here because I want to show you that wormy hole thing. Hang on. I'll come over here. So if I do it in here, in that area, very similar to this, but it's a little tighter. So I'm just going to lift up my foot a fraction. I'm burying my thread now. I've got my coffee too, so I'm going to have a drink. Any questions at all? So you start with an arch and you keep them close together. So when you want to turn, you come out the side like that, like the letter C, and you just keep going until you get to the spot you want to get to. It's another good filler. And then if you wanted to come from a different angle, you can come out the side, but keep them close. So I'm going down this way now, fill up that gap. So yeah, to me they look like little wormholes. Because they're thready, you can just follow the path you went before. I'm going to fill up this area. Sorry, I just got to get a bit of a grip on it. Probably need to change my needle too, it's been a while. Like it's got a little bit of movement in it too. morning, Joan. So you can see how it looks. To me, it looks like a wormhole. I don't know what it looks like to you, but it does to me. Just checking my bobbin because I know I only had a little bit on the bobbin, so I'm just double checking. I've got enough to keep going, which I do. So I've just done that bit there. And that makes it look, there's your paisleys. You can also, with your paisleys, you can put, oh, I didn't bury my thread, that was silly of me. Make sure that's out of the way. You can also do those little arches on the inside if you want to. Now I'm going to do one of those wormhole-y things. It sort of starts very similar to the way you have your paisley, or however you're going to call it. Some people call them teardrops. Very similar. So see how that one got a little bit far away? I'm just going to fill it up with one. You can make them look like they're going behind something or just around it. I'm going to fill up that area there. This is really good if you've got random looking shapes and areas to fill up, because you can change it to take shape of anything that's around it. You can work up the side of something else. I'm just going to put some random lines in there just to fill that up. Here I'm not going 100 miles an hour, I'm just going a nice speed. I'm now starting, you can see I'm starting to go from the side because I'm taking a corner. And I'm filling that up with thread because I don't want it to have black in between them. And you can see I'm starting to fill that around there. A bit zentangly, this thing. Now you can hear my bobbin just made that horrible sound. That means it's getting low. For those who don't have one of these machines, they wouldn't understand that, but this machine literally tells me without actually having a feature of telling me when the bobbin's low. It just makes that horrible clunky noise, which freaks me out sometimes. I forget what it is. And different directions in these makes them look really, really interesting. You can see. Being on the edge of the fabric can make it a little bit difficult because you're sort of straining your fingers a bit, but once you sort of get into the middle of a quilt or a block, you sort of settle in. Pretty cool, hey? They look good going backwards and like one way and then coming back the other way. They look really cool. Right, this way. Actually, I'm going to go down in here while I'm here and just fill it up with a couple of random lines to make it look like I've got them in there. Don't know if you can see that or not. I'm hoping you can. I'm just travelling up the edge of that applique. Go around it this way, depending on how far my bobbin will take me. Come that way, give it a bit of a turn. hope you enjoy the video of the overlocking. It's amazing, isn't it? She does amazing things with an overlocker. The classes that you have with her are so informative. She is a wealth of information, like a huge amount of information. You're talking a lot of years of being in the industry, and it is all there in that one little person. And she's got a memory like an elephant. So this looks very, very effective. I think it does, but then again, you know, what do I know? And, you know, if you make the wrong move or anything, you can just easily cover it up and it doesn't matter. It's very forgiving, this one. Lots of small movements. But it does look like wormholes, doesn't it? I'm going to turn. See how I've just started coming out the side of that one? And turn. I'm going to come up here. Come up here. Here. You can have it going right across the page behind the picture and make it look like it's worming its little way around. It's very funky. Wormhole is going to go right up to the edge of that petal, between the petals, I should say. It's going to give it the look of going behind or in between. And come up here, and I'm going to go that way. I can actually have it going that way. It look like it's going behind, just doing a half one. See how it's just doing a half one? Back and forth, so it looks like it's going behind that petal. And then we're going to just fill up that little area there. Great filler. I'm going to just come up here, fill that one up, and turned. I'm going to come across here, fill up that one. I'll show you all these. Back home from appointment. What foot are you using? A free motion foot? It's a darning foot. Well, yours does too. Just a teaser. Just a teaser. Thanks, Lynn. Judy, g'day, Judy. How you going? It gives it much more depth, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. So if you have a look at it, it's like it's really got that wormy, holy looking thing. I love it. I reckon it's awesome. So that's just a little bit of what you can do with just the letter C, and make it look really, really. It's got that wow factor. Yeah. So it's got that Zentangle look to it. So we've got some spots over here. They're quite big, which I'm happy with, but we really need to do something small on the other side of it just to balance out, because we've got this really tight bit here, these big ones here, it's a bit tighter over there. So let's do something small over here. So what would you like to see? Excuse me. What would you like to see done in this area around here? What sort of small stitch could you think that would go in there? Stipple, or what about pebbles? Something like that? What do you think? I'll let you choose. Just waiting, there's a bit of delay. Just going to put my needle down there. Pebbles would look good, I think. I think so too, Stella. Let's do some pebbles. Need to speed up my machine a little bit for pebbles. Otherwise, I'll have square circles. And you got your gloves ready. Oops, that thread came out then. Oh, try again. Oh, it's got caught up around the uptake arm. Let me just unhook that baby. Come on. Sorry, bear my hands there in the way. Come on, darling, in behind there. I love the fact that I can open that inside of this machine, because sometimes you just want to get a thread out from the guts of a machine, like it's without having to take it to the repairman, and that's a good saver with these Genomes, I must admit, being able to open them up. I don't think the little ones do it, but a lot of the bigger ones do. I'll go back and start here again. Hopefully I've got enough. I don't think I have enough bobbin, but yeah. Alrighty. Alright, there's number one. So we go one way and then the other. Go to the right and to the left. Right. Up. Okay, oh, sounds like something's gone wrong. So let me just cut off there. I'm just going to check the machine. This is the other one. Look at that. Just make sure it hasn't jumped up out of its spot, because it did sort of tell me off. I've got a little bit of bobbin in there. Just bear with me while I turn it off and back on again. Okay. Best laid plans, what they say. Mice and men. Alright. Yes, I have got it. I have to get a screwdriver and undo the whole thing to get the thread if it gets stuck inside mine. Not a Genome, no. Hello, Pat, how you going? Yeah, no, if I'm ever at a class and it's not a Genome, oh, and I have to open up the bobbin case, man, do I just about cry. Or having to try and get in there and screw those screws in. Oh, they're a nightmare. Alrighty, let's try again. Let's see if it's going to do what I want it to do. I need my needle to move, don't I? There we go. That's better. Alrighty, let's try again. I'll just stitch that in there as I can. That feels better. Let's do a larger one. I like the fact that these are really random in size. You can sort of do really tiny ones like that, and you can get some really big ones. There we go. Super big ones. Just a fraction fast. You can make them look like they're going behind each other too, behind other things if you wanted to. So I'll show you what I mean. So you can come up from behind and make it look like it's overlapping like that. If you go off the line, don't stress, just fill her in with some colour. Look at that, just colour it in. There we go. I haven't got my table on, so the weight of the fabric is pulling from the back. So I'm going to have a bit of a grip on it today. So we're getting closer and closer. Let's do another bigger one. One now. What you've got to watch is that you don't stop in one place for way too long, because you don't want a massive knots underneath there. If you go around it and you get a bit of a gap, don't stress, just colour it in. And I think that foot's a little bit tight, so I'm just going to lift it up. Hi. Hi, Judy. Hi, Regina. So again, that That's a bit better. Like, I've lifted the foot up, so now I've got a little bit more free movement. I love this foot for that reason. So you can colour in those little bits, thread paint them in. So if I want to travel to the other side, I can just colour them in at the same time. Fill that in. The next one. And if you notice, I'm going one way and then I come in and go the other way. I go one way, go to the right, and then the next one I'm going to the left. And I go pretty much right around and a little bit more again. Sometimes I'll go 3/4 of the way around, depending on whereabouts I want to start. And other times I'll go a little bit further or a little bit less. Sometimes I go all the way around again, and they have 2 layers. But if you don't like thready, don't do pebbles or bubbles or whatever you want to call them, because they are thready. A little fella in there. And if I want to get back over the other way, just go back in the areas you've already stitched. You can see a couple of little spots of black there that I want to fill in. And come over here, got a little bit of a stitch. Oops, daisy, lost my pebble. And up on there, and down here, and then just stop there, and I'll show you. There you go. How cool is that? Hey, there's some texture for you. So we've done the really nice wormholes, some paisleys, some funky and some not, but I'm actually liking this, so I might even go back in these and do these ones now while I've got the momentum. So needle down, and oh, it's way too slow. Couldn't possibly work at that pace. There we go, and just do these ones on the inside. And travel back down, go to the next one, and because I don't want to cut off because I'm lazy, I like being a little bit lazy, I'll just follow it, and because I'm doing that thready thing, you're not going to tell that, you know, that I've done that. Where have I got? I've got one over here. I've missed it. So I've sort of done a little bit there. I think I might do some pebbles in this area and some just up here, and then we need to figure out what we're going to do over this side. So I'll just finish off these this paisley, and you'll be able to tell in a second. I'm just going to follow the same lines I've already stitched. And like I say, you're doing it tone on tone, you're not going to notice those. You will absolutely see the threadiness with a bright fluoro. Any colour that's not the same as what your fabric is, you're going to see it. Now again, I am right on the edge of this fabric, so it does make it a little bit difficult, can get caught and stuff, so bear with me while I fumble through. Any questions, please ask. Give me some ideas what to do on this side. What design you'd like to see, make it something that you know, you've been wanting to see how it's done, and I'll let you know whether I can do it or not. I'm just going to grab that like that. Oh, and what I forget to do is speed up so I don't get the square circles. Well, that's a bit fast, but we'll deal with it. really too fast. Could you imagine trying to unpick that? God. There'd be no unpicking here. Getting caught again. Lift up that foot. So I'm just going to do the circles really quickly, and then I'm going to come back in and colour in some of those areas, like that there, and another circle here, and gets done really quickly then. That's it. So I might just go up over here, over this way. Micro stipple, I can do that, Dottie. So, would you like to see some stuff done on the long arm? Because I know some of you have got long arm, and just how things are done on the long arm. I'm thinking of classes for tomorrow. I also thought maybe some trapunto, or whether you want to see something else. What would you like me to show you? Oh, I know what I could do. I could do the... what they call it, the sashiko with the machine. Wendy showed me that one years ago and I love it. Could do that, or by machine. I think I'll just do it over here. I'm going to run out of bobbin any second now, so I'm just going to colour in between. A little bit of, I should change thread colour. What do you think? I'll stay with what I've got. Trapunto, yeah, okay, cool. I can do that. That I can do. If you like trapunto, I can show you how to do that tomorrow. This afternoon we are going to do some ruler work, so I will need my table. If you want to do it with me, you will need a table, you will need your rulers, and you'll need your ruler foot. You'll also need, what else? Let me try and think. Ruler, table, ruler foot. That's about it. FYI too, I've put in an order with the States for some rulers to come and some new Westerly feet. I wasn't going to, but there seems to be a calling for it. They are a little bit dearer than they used to be because we're paying a lot for freight now. Do a lot of Westerly template classes, not for them of course, but you know, my own classes. Alright, so I'll cut that off. So now you can really see that flower. How cool is that? So I'll just zoom it out a little. Look at that. Look at those wormies. Alrighty, so you want to see a bit of micro stipple. So what if I do it around here? Because it's so tight, I don't want to have it too close to that, but I can sort of start it off around there and just let it bleed out a little, and then we need another bigger one. Yes, I've never seen one working, still got heaps to learn how to do basic things. Okay, yep. Is there a book that shows all the different stitches patterns you can use? Okay, for the long arm, Judy, or for what? Okay, so maybe the long arm a little bit tomorrow. I would love to see the long arm on my dream list. Yeah, it's wonderful. What is a ruler foot? Oh, okay, so this is a free motion quilting foot. A ruler foot will have a thicker side. I'm just trying to find it in my little pile of stuff over here because I've got stuff everywhere. Oh, here we go. This is a Westerly ruler foot. And you can see the side, that's the side of it, is a lot wider. It's like a quarter of an inch high than what, say, this is, because it has to go against the ruler. So, yeah, so that's a ruler foot. Okay. You were thinking the same. Yes, we do seem to like a lot. Yeah, you do think a lot. I have a Westerly hardware, no rulers, so that would be good. Thank you. A lot of people actually buy the Westerly stuff, like the rulers and stuff like that, but no, don't know how to use them. What am I doing now? I am literally going to just quilt away on this baby. We're just doing probably another 5 minutes or so. We'll do some micro stipple, Dottie asks for, and I might start over here, needle down on my sample piece. This is my sample piece, so I'm just going to zoom in. And oops, a daisy, sorry about that. There we go. Hopefully my hands aren't in the way. And I'll keep it at the same speed because I want there to be lots and lots of little tiny movements. So I'm actually going to put my hands underneath. I'll just zoom back out again. My hand is underneath because I'm close to the edge, and I'm going to do lots of little movements. So I'm actually holding on between my pointer and my middle finger and my thumb there. I'm not doing this thing. I'm just holding like that. Okay, and then I rest my hand on it like that. This one here, I'm going to do the same, but I'm going to put the quilt between my two fingers, just so I've got a little bit extra hang on, and I'm going to do lots of small little tiny movements. Okay, so this is going to be free motion quilting, and this is a micro stipple. I'm going to speed her up a fraction bit more, and we're going to go off. Now I will zoom in because you need to see up close what's going on. Lifting my foot up a little. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Really more of a what do they call it, meandering than it is a stipple. So if you can see, there's lots of little tiny movements with my hands. The machine's going really, really fast. Not the fastest it can go, but it's going fairly fast. Oops, a daisy, we're running out of bulb. I think I just got it caught. What sort of rulers do we need? Westerly rulers would be good. They need to be relevant for the machine. Okay, I have one in my quilt class box. So happy enjoy. Yep. I got the ruler sampler. Yep. That's it. That's the one you want to use. As far as any type, I'm going to use the sampler set and show you how to use that, because that's a really good place to start. Just made a knot underneath there. I think it's because my bobbin's getting really low. Yeah, it's getting very low. And I'm going so fast, so it might crack it with me a little. So I'm going to go slow it down a fraction, stop it from cracking it. There we go. So the starter set, I'll make it look so easy for emotion, scares the bejesus out of me. Could watch it all day long though. It's sort of a bit like embroidery. When you watch embroidery, I can watch an embroidery machine work all day. I love it. It's so relaxing. It's got that nice hum about it, and it's just tick, 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 tick. Love it. Love the noise of the embroidery machine, and could literally sit there all day and watch it. I have been known to do so. Oh, it's going to make a awful mess. Just let me, where do I put my scissors there now? Just going to grab that little bit of thread. Go back there. I'll come back to that. Sorry, meant books for pattern stitches are you doing now with free motion? Sorry, meant books for pattern stitches are you doing now with free motion? You say the names of patterns of what you're doing, so seeing if you can get a book with them all in it. Oh, good question. There's quite a few books out there. Between now and next class, I'll have a look with what books I've got, take some photos and pop them up there for you to search. Do you have some sample sets for sale? Yes, I do, Pat, I do. I've got high shank and low. Let me just check. High shank. Yep, I've got a high shank sets and low shank. Which, depending on what machine you're using, as to whether it's a low shank or a high shank. Now, I can tell you exactly how to find that out. Right. So when you've got your foot, needle up, when you've got your foot, like that's in the up position, right? So there it is there. I'm going to put my finger there. If I put my finger down and see that nut there? If my finger is below, and I mean it's well below that nut there, then that mine is a high shank. If this here goes goes below, like my finger sits above, like next to it, like above it, then it's a low shank. But if you don't know what your machine is, you can always send me the model and I can tell you. All right, so give it 5 more minutes and then I will give a break and then we'll move on to the next thing. So lots of tiny little movements. And the beauty of this is if I go over the same stitch, look, I'll do it, you watch. So there we go. In the whole scheme of things, you're not going to see or notice it. And you can see there when I first started, the bobbin had it sort of picked up properly because it's getting so low, so I'll just go straight back over that. That's why I say it's more like a little meander than it is a stipple. And I've got a little bit of an area over here. I don't know if you can see that there. I'm going to have to come back in there and give that a bit of a stitch. And I'm just going to get rid of some threads because they're annoying me. There it is. And this one here, you can see how it's all sort of gone knotty. And because you've got so many little stitches at once going up and down, they can create a knot really, really easy. So what you can do is you can come back and you can stitch them to death and all done. Okay. Again. Now I do advise if you do micro stippling anywhere, you really need to try and finish off whatever area you're doing before leaving it for another day or whatever, because what you'll find is that it's very hard to get them back to the same size again. So you'll come back to it and you'll go, oh bugger, I've done them too big, or they're a lot smaller and now it looks weird, and they're very hard to unpick. In fact, I would not suggest it. So just try and do the areas you need to do with it in one sitting, if you can. That's of course, unless you medically can't. Just to give yourself a bit of an easier time later on, so that you don't sit there and going, oh, well that little block now looks like the micro stipple's much bigger than the one I did 3 days ago. If, again, it's tone on tone fabric, you're not going to notice it so much. But when you've got this sort of fabric, a black with a vibrant colour, you're going to see variations in the size of your stippling very easily. And what's the variance is the gaps between and you don't have to make it an even edge either, because that sort of looks a bit random. Better to have a sort of not so perfect edge to it. And always quilt out past where you know you're going to cut off, you know, like I did before. I've actually quilted further than where I'm going to cut, so that it looks like your quilting goes past and underneath the binding. There, and I can see that one. There we go. Did you see that little bit of black there at the little hole? Oh, hi Marietta. Okay, thanks. We'll have a look. They were the ruler. You are using the salve. Yes, they are. Oh, my wish list, Ella. But yeah, it's to get a long arm. Nowadays, I mean, compared to way back when I first started, I mean, you wouldn't get away with one for under 50-60 grand. Now you can get yourself a long arm for around about, you know, 15, which is, you know, even 10, which is brilliant. So I'm just going to zoom that out a little and give you an idea of what I've just done. So anything micro is going to take much longer to quilt, as you can see, but in saying that, doesn't that give it some yumminess? Look at that, just beautiful. Alrighty, how nice, done deal. And that is using that Metler thread, $20, cheap as cheap can be, and there are 200 meters per reel, and they're fluoros, so I think they look amazing, but that's just my opinion. And this being my sampler piece, it doesn't really matter what I do to it, because it's just going to have lots of different samples on, so when I go to classes it'll have all different samples. Yeah, it looks cool, doesn't it? Yep, just looks really, really cool. And when you get that stipple up close, you can see it's not a real stipple, it's more like a bit of a meander and fluff around. I'm not really stippling. Oh, beautiful stitch, the 8900. I'll tell you what, if anyone's looking for a new machine, that 8900 at the shop there, it's the same as this machine here. This baby does about 2 years worth of work in one year compared to most machines, and it just keeps going. Very early good morning from Scotland. That looks amazing. Hey Kate, how you going? Thank you. My delivery from you is meant to arrive today. Woohoo! Love that worm tunnel. I know, isn't it awesome? The worm tunnel looks fab. Love it. And it's all it is that let us see, you know, that doing that thing back and forth. So I'm going to end up putting this video up on YouTube as well. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for joining in with me. I'll meet you all back here at around about 45 minutes at 2 o'clock. And I think the next one is rulers. So if you've got your Westerlies and you want to stitch along with me, feel free. You'll need your what do they call it? The table for your machine, because you need to have something, a bed for it. For the ruler, you'll need your ruler foot, and your sandwich, your quilt sandwich, and yeah, you're off and ready to go. So maybe a pencil and just in case you want to, you know, draw some lines, some marking lines. But yeah, we'll see you in at 2 o'clock, and we'll chat then. See you guys.